Well, good morning and welcome back to the program. 9:24. Please join me in saying hello to two very good friends that we've known each other for more years than I care to count. Say hello to the ladies of the St. Martin Animal Welfare Foundation, Heather Caputo and Becca Swanston. Welcome to the
Hi.
program.
Good
Thank.
morning.
Good morning.
In unison, I love it. Okay, what's the bottle you brought?
We just brought some prosecco because it's
Well, I gotta
Friday.
Ray.
I'm finishing my coffee. Hang on. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'll make room
No
for
problem.
the.
It's fine.
I should have brought some orange juice for the prosecco. I wasn't.
I did say that, and
I-
I said we need to have the breakfast of champions to have the champagne and the orange juice. Then it's a good balance, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
And I was like,
I don't like
"Stop,
to
must
dirty up
have."
my prosecco.
You know, like she's a professional, apparently.
Professional prosecco drinker.
Apparently, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have a skill.
That's what it is. Oh, yeah, I was mistaken. How are you both doing? It's been so long. Actually, it's been a
It's
little while.
the weekend. Thank God.
She could sing too.
Wow.
No, I cannot.
Give
I'm
her
so
some
re-
more champagne.
Probably.
Where's the champagne?
It's there. It's dying slowly though.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, I have to tell you that I felt the same way this morning. When the alarm went off, I'm like, I don't want to go to work today. I love to go to work. I just didn't want. It's not that I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to get up.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay in bed. I just could.
Sometimes you have those mornings.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's this morning.
My alarm goes off way too early. Way too early.
What's way too early for you?
The alarm goes off about 4:45 is the first alarm.
I love to say that you need Jesus.
And it
Fine.
and by about 5 o'clock I'm up and I get up. I turn the TV on. I have to see what's going on in the world, so I've got stuff to talk about and know if there's anything urgent, earth shattering that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read the papers, all that nonsense, and then usually by a little after 5 I'm up, and Nevaeh is wandering around and having her breakfast.
Okay.
And then she gets back in bed. The dog. Then she'll go out and do her business, and then immediately she comes back and gets in bed. Like
Good
and then,
dog.
yeah, smart. She knows.
Good dog.
And then I of course then hit the shower and get ready to come here, and here we are by 6. Usually out the door by 6:25. Between 6:25 and 6:35, if all goes.
That time I'm snoozing my alarm.
Yeah.
Like, give me 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes.
And then I'm on the air at 7, so ready to roll. So there you go. But anyway, so how are things in the Animal Welfare Foundation world? What's going on? What are we talking about today?
All right. Well, we are talking about today the situation that we're dealing with. More and more, unfortunately, there's just too many puppies and kittens, for that matter, but too many puppies are being born, and there's not enough homes, and we are seeing all of the animal welfare foundations, St. Martin Animal Welfare Foundation, SXM Paws, Animal Defenders, and then all the individuals who do so much rescue work. We're all seeing just this influx of Abandoned.
Animals.
Yeah.
puppies and dogs. And, people have been getting their dogs and then deciding they don't want them anymore. They can't take care of them anymore, and they're just dumping them. And that's what we're dealing with. All of the animal welfare foundations are dealing with this stuff. And we're kind of doing, making the rounds in the radio world to
Bring awareness.
appeal to people, bring awareness that, you don't have to dump your dog, your puppies. We can help. All of the foundations can help with the spaying and the neutering. We ask, if you can help defray the cost,
Yeah.
then please do. But if not, we'd rather we do the fundraising specifically to spay and neuter animals. So we would much rather spay your animal, neuter your animal, than have to deal with these unwanted puppies.
Correct.
Well, and it's really quite it's simple, right? That to spay and neuter your puppy is a great long-term solution to the problem. And part of the issue is we need to get beyond all the stigmas and
Correct.
and cultural reasons that we have dreamt up
Yeah.
to not spay or neuter your dog or cat.
Correct.
And it's a huge problem.
It is. I mean, one thing I thought that you were gonna say is that spaying and neutering is really easy. I'm gonna say yes, it is a easy surgery to do, but it's still a major surgery.
Oh, without a doubt.
However, it can extend your pet's lifespan because then it reduces complications as they get older. So there are benefits to spaying and neutering. Your dog or cat won't stray as much; they will stay at home. Um, you won't have won't have random dogs coming into your yard if you have a female that's in heat. Your male dogs will stay around and protect your yard better. The same goes for the females because you're not out there. The same for cats. Cats will stay around longer. They will probably catch more rats if you have a rat problem, especially if they don't have that distraction. So those benefits I think are great, as well as reducing the population on the island.
Uh, without a doubt. And when you look at with the amount of kittens that, or the amount of puppies that a pair can produce
Correct.
over time,
Yep.
that are not spayed or neutered. I mean, it's an exponential number.
Correct.
It's a huge number.
They come into heat twice a year, so
Right.
twice a year you can have litters, and people themselves are finding themselves inundated with regards to all these young ones that they want to find homes for, but they can't because they won't fix their animals. I mean, I have conversations with people who query about spaying and neutering and who are against it, and they say, oh, I just really want her to have one litter before I do it. I said, you know what? If that is what you want to do, that's okay. You are coming to me and we're having this discussion. I know that you plan to spay and neuter your pet. Great. What my worry is those that you give the dogs or the kittens to, they may not necessarily want to spay and neuter their pet, and then the cycle continues.
Right.
So we really need to try our best to nip it in the bud. Yes, you may find great homes, but I need you to now spread the word and like, okay, if you're going to keep the females or the males, please get them neutered at the age that they need to be, which is usually from 5 to 6 months. We can do a little younger, but we try to reach the sexual maturity age before we actually do the surgery.
We in the U.S. I was very involved with before I came here, so a long time ago. Um, was very involved with an organization called Yankee Golden Retriever Rescue, where all of my Goldens had come from,
Mm-hmm.
and they all rescues like we do here are spayed and neutered before they leave.
Correct.
And if it's too young, if the animal is too young to be spayed or neutered, the adoption agreement requires that you agree to spay or neuter.
I think all the adoption contracts that we have here on the island,
Say the
if
same.
that say the same thing. So if you are going to adopt and you have indicated to us that you will not spay or neuter, we try to deter you from doing that. If we know that the animal is of an age, because some vets may do what we call not preemie but young spay and neuters. So
Mhm.
I think some places we can do it as early as 3 months.
Mhm.
We can do it that early. If we can get away with doing it knowing your intentions, then we do try to actually do it that way as well.
Because at the end of the day, um, spaying and neutering your cats and dogs is the only way that we're going to
Nip
get
this in the bud.
to really get ahead of the problem.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I know that over the past several years we've done a monumental number of local spay and neuter campaigns
Yeah,
through.
we have. In the last year and a half, we've done about 2,000 spays and neuters because we had a grant from the World Bank, the R4CR, actually from Dutch taxpayers.
Yeah.
We had a grant, and we did 1,150 spays and neuters, 1,150, and then we
That's-
had 2 campaigns with this Yeah.
Four-leaf rover.
four-leaf rover, yep, from the States.
States,
They're like Doctors Without Borders type
Right.
of thing, and they're like Vets Without Borders.
Right.
And they came down here. They've been down twice, and we did, close to 4, about 4.
Five. We did 5
Yeah.
because it was like 280 at one point and then 250 and then circles to 5.
So we did 500 there. So, and then we keep doing,
Spays and
our
neuters.
normal work,
On top of that.
spays and neuters. So over in a year and a half, we've done over 2,000 spays and neuters. And imagine if we hadn't even done that, how many puppies and kittens we'd be having. But
No.
we still are getting so many puppies and kittens. I think 2 weeks ago, we got like 28 puppies.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
They've been
in a
really
week.
bad. Yeah.
In 1 week.
that's incredible.
It's
And
crazy. There's
it's
not
sad.
enough homes for them.
No,
There
and
just are not
there's
enough
no way
homes.
for us to keep them. You know,
Right.
Extent Paws, which has an adoption center down there in KB, they have about 57 puppies. That is a lot. Do you know
That's
what
a
it? Do
that's
you know what it is to care for 57 puppies
that's a lot of
and
that's
not have enough homes for it? That's
yeah.
a big strain, both financially and emotionally, on the volunteers and the foundation itself. You know, and they don't get government funding. You
Yeah,
know, animal welfare doesn't really get government funding either. So everything that we do is based on donations, based on our fundraising to try and get money in so that we can continue doing what we're doing. Some of us have merchandise that we sell. So if you want to support, go to our shops, buy a shirt. Our shirts are really nice and cute. Buy a hat, buy a wine cup,
yeah.
you know, do something to donate. And if you ever see any of our fundraisers, come out, because what you're doing is supporting our endeavor to continue to help reduce the cost and the spay and neuter for whatever we do.
Listen, every dollar helps.
Correct.
Every small donation helps. Whether it's a donation, a cash donation, whether it's
Food donation.
we'll take all of the above
Yeah.
to help. And to be very honest, I've said this all along. I sit on the board of animal welfare with both of you. Um, I'm agnostic. I mean, I'd love to say have you come to us and give us a donation, but if you want to give a donation to Paws or any of the
We all work together.
or-
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
exactly.
really good. In the last couple of years, we've all really come together. We
Yeah.
have a WhatsApp group that's all of the rescuers
Right.
are on this WhatsApp
Yeah.
group, and it's really cool. Like Divico called me on Monday and said, I have a pallet of food to donate. So I put it on the chat, and everybody went and got food.
Yeah.
So we all work together.
Yeah.
But it's just endless, and so that's what we're doing, is making again a plea to the community to be aware and spay and neuter. Talk to your neighbors about spaying and neutering. There's just too many, and it's sad. It's a terrible situation. We
What-
really can make a difference because the community is so small. We can make this happen. It's just we have to keep at it.
With the willpower to make
That it would be nice if we could get government on board
it.
and
Yeah.
get some legislation that would help, back up if
we need the
yeah,
assistance.
if the police go to a house and there's a law that says you can't have your dog on a chain this big,
Right.
the police can go there and say, look, you're breaking the law, you need to have a bigger chain or whatever.
Or it's not a certain length, or you
Yeah.
don't have a covering for the dog, or there's no water for the dog. I mean, I've been to properties where I've seen that there's no water there for the dog that's on the chain, and I've questioned it, and I'm like, you really should leave a nice big bucket of water there. And I would get stories, oh, she always tossed it over, she plays in it. Okay, so let's devise a way to combat that,
It's not rocket science, It's not rocket science.
Exactly. Have a big bucket that she can't tip over, or put it in a certain way that she still has access to it, but not throw it over.
Yeah, and we've even gone. Somebody has a chain, and we have given them a longer chain
Yeah.
because
Right.
this chain isn't long enough for them to be comfortable and all of that. So, I mean, we also are making a plea to people if they want they want their dog, but they're unable. We can help them. We can help them with
We'll
food.
try and
We
help
can
them
try
and
to
see what
help
we can
them.
do.
Yeah,
But you have to come to us with the problems to see how we can help.
Well,
right.
yeah, that's really what communication is the key to everything.
Correct. Yes.
So along those lines, what are the most common reasons that you hear where people don't want to spay or neuter their dog or cat?
It's usually if they have a cute cat with a nice coloring, or a cute puppy with a nice coloring, or it's a small and it's a Shih Tzu, or it's a big dog. They're like, oh, I want to breed her once because I want to have an offspring, just from her line. I'm going to do that with the quotation marks, and then once I do it, then by all means, then, I'll spare her, but I'm just like, as I'll go back. Okay, fine. That's what you would like to do. But what about the people that you decide that you're going to give the puppy? Because she's not just going to have one.
Right.
She may pop out and give you six. If it's a bigger dog, she may give you 12.
Right.
And then what are you going to do and find homes for 12 puppies if we're struggling to find homes for 57
Right.
that are at a shelter at the moment? I have about 6 or 7 by me. I'm not too sure about the rest of the vets. What are you going to do if you need to find homes for 12 puppies? And then worse yet, they're going to reach a certain age and you're going to come to me and you'll be like, okay, I need to find homes. I'm not going to tell you no. I'm going to say, okay, let's see what we can do. We'll look at the coloring. Let's post them on Facebook. Let's see if I know someone who's looking for something particular. But then I'm always going to be like, okay, if you want this dog, let's spay and neuter. I will push, okay, I'll do it for free. Or I'm like, okay, I know you can afford it. Let's have a little donation towards animal welfare. They'll pick up the rest of the cost. You just pay a portion of it and everyone's a win-win. I think one of the other things is a lot of people feel that the cost is a big deterrent, and
Spaying and neutering.
correct, yes. The cost is always a big deterrent, especially if they want to do it. So I would always say, okay, this is what the cost is. If it's going to be full price, if I hear a hem and haw, I'll be like, all right, I can contact animal welfare for you and see if we can get you on a certificate, or there's a special coming up like February. We have our Valentine's Day special coming up. Give me a call then. I'll put your name on the list. I'll make the appointment for you, and then you can get it done with the certificate, and then win-win.
Mm.
So we will work with people
You're very
because there are
kind.
some people who take advantage of it.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
And I try to stress to them, this is for people who really cannot afford it.
Yeah, it's
Well-
kind of annoying when they pull up in their Lexus
Yeah.
Well,
to get their free spay. It's like, what?
the other thing that just blows my mind, and I will, I may sound like I'm playing hardball, and maybe I am, and I don't really care. When you make a decision to have a pet,
Mm-hmm.
that's a life.
Mm-hmm.
That means you have to be prepared for all of the other things that go along with caring for that life. That includes regular checks with the like. Listen, you're not gonna go to the doctor for you. You're gonna go to the doctor for you. You have to go bring your animal, your cat or dog, to the vet for their checkups. You have to make the commitment to keep the animal healthy, and to allow the animal to live the longest life possible. And there's so much research out there that shows. I mean, you just went there a little while ago that an animal, a cat or dog that is spayed or neutered, lives a longer life.
Yeah, they're a lot healthier.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I'm going to touch on that subject that you spoke about, because that's also another reason as to why a lot of animals are abandoned. It comes about saying that they cannot afford to look after the pet anymore. Okay. You're right. It costs food to be able to feed your dog. It costs medical care if your dog gets sick. It costs medicine for prevention. Um, I think most vets will agree with me. Prevention is better than cure. So if you can get ahead of it, go with it.
Always.
If
Same thing with humans.
Same like humans. I've had comments where people said dogs are really expensive. I say, dogs or cats are really expensive. I turn about and say it's only expensive because you don't have the insurance, so you're not feeling it if you're on SZV. That's one. Two, your animal is only expensive if an urgent situation occurs.
Right.
Everything else with regards to preventive is actually fairly affordable, at least in my concern here in the islands. However, there is that stigmatism that not everyone considers a cat or dog a pet part of their family. Okay, they will feel that the animal needs to remain outside. That is fine. I don't have a problem with that, just as long as it has adequate shelter, just as long as your yard is properly fenced, providing food and water. So if you can't afford a bag of dog food, you can always cook for your dog. There's different recipes. There are cheap ways in which you can do it. If you just, as Mercedes said the other day, Google it.
Yeah.
If you cook for yourself, you can cook for the dog. You just have to adjust certain things in what you're doing, such as seasonings and stuff like that, because certain things dogs cannot eat because it's toxic to them. So read up about it. Or if you're not sure, go to your local vet and ask the question. You can sit down and have a conversation with your vet and be honest and say, look, doc, I'm in this position at the moment. I cannot afford to feed my pet. I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z. What can we do to help? and then you will more than likely find a solution where we can assist. There's some programs that actually offer some flea and tick medication with help for those who really need it, especially for the stray animals. So if you have a stray animal that's coming into your yard and it's covered in ticks and fleas, and you say, look, it's giving my dog ticks and fleas, I know someone who is willing sometimes to donate a flea and tick tablet towards that dog to try and just help the situation. So contact your vet and see if they have that type of program that's there. Again, not government funded.
Well, it's gonna for me, and this is not gonna be a popular
Conversation.
position, but we all were adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we make decisions. You have to be prepared for the consequences of your decisions. And if your decision is that if you can't afford a cat or dog because you can't afford to care for the cat or dog, then don't put yourself in a position. Don't make a bad decision.
Yeah, but everyone has good intentions, though, Sock. Okay,
I don't disagree with that.
And I think sometimes we find that people may tend to overextend themselves. Where they think, okay, they can have it, and then they realize that they really can't. Just come forward and say that I can't. There's no shame in saying that. I think a lot of people think that people may start to make judgments to them, and we don't want to do that. We want to try.
Make good decisions.
Yeah,
make good decisions.
But you have to understand, we're also in the Caribbean. There's some people have this Caribbean mentality, and we have to try and change that mentality. We need to start encouraging a lot more people to say, okay, yes, you have a pet and dog. No, it's not right to have a collar on too tight. No, it's not right to tie. But if you have to tie, let's get a longer chain. How would you feel that if you were on a chain that you can go only from here to like 2 steps forward? That's not right. And make it in such a way that you don't get tangled, because at the end of the day, the dog can tangle themselves in it.
It's education, and
Yeah.
it's coming a long way. We
Listen.
definitely need the legislation, because the legislation right now, the way it's written, the way for animals is their property. They're not beings.
Yeah.
Right.
Any legislation that regarding animals is they are property. So we need to start up there and change that stuff for sure. But we've made a lot of headway in changing the mentality.
If you go back and look at when I think about what it was like when I was a kid, as a teenager coming here in the early '80s, right? Wildly different situation
there
for
were
dog.
packs and packs all over the place of mangy, very sad, very sick-looking dogs, and
we've come a long way from that,
long
because
way.
with the animal hospital, not animal hospital, the bus system that we used to have, the clinic where they'll go through different areas and they'll give like medication for dogs that we saw that had mange. That's one way. The flea and tick medication that we have now actually helps treat the mange, so we're seeing a huge reduction in that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just think about here up on the hill behind the studio, right here in Colbay, there used to be
the movie theater dogs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There used to be a huge pack that was there.
There were 50 some odd dogs up there, and we just. I mean, we spayed and we trapped and spayed and neutered and released.
We darted some that we could. Darted mean that we caught them to spay and neuter and release. Okay, so we didn't dart them to put them to sleep. Just letting you know.
Yeah, but there aren't any anymore.
No.
Yeah, there's it's a much smaller community, and
but the population has now actually though moved to the dump.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are dumping animals on the dump itself. I have had lots of reports where people have seen cars drive up, kick the dog out of the car, and drive off, and the dog is running down the road behind the car. That's sad, and that's heartbreaking to hear.
Why would somebody do that?
So I don't know why someone would do that. A lot of people tend to move home, so we see a lot of a big increase, especially during the summer, when people are moving homes from one place to the next, and where they're moving to, they're not allowed to have pets. And therefore they will always, they may try to find another place, or they will reach out to us at last minute. I mean, you can't come to a vet and say, okay, I am moving house tomorrow. I have nowhere for the dog. That does not give me time to try and find a home. You've known about this for a lot longer. Come to us earlier so we can try and make a plan of action.
Good decisions. Good planning.
Yeah. Or talk to your landlord. I want to appeal to landlords. Okay, yes, we know having pets on the property can cause damage. It can cause it to be messy. Let's put a little bit of onus back onto the owner to ensure that your dog doesn't damage the property. You can add, let's say, an extra pet deposit maybe into your clause and say, okay, if you want to have a small pet or if you want to have a big dog, pay an extra $500, pay an extra $200 as a deposit. And if everything is happy with your property, then, you can get that back as you do with your normal deposit. But you have the pros and cons of that part too.
Well, listen, once again, it really comes back to, you know, making good decisions,
Yeah,
being
for sure, for
educated,
sure.
being
Correct.
informed,
Yes.
accepting responsibility for things that you can afford and can't afford,
Correct.
and 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 then if you find yourself in a situation,
Ask for help.
ask for help, and
Yeah.
and don't do things that you
And
yourself
be
wouldn't like. Then,
honest.
yeah,
Be honest. Don't come to us with a lie. Sometimes it's better for us to know exactly what's going on so we can help you a lot better. If you come to us with a lie, then the consequences are going to be different. I'm not saying in a negative way that we're not going to help you, but we could save a life of a dog,
well, that's the whole idea.
or a cat. Sorry.
That's the whole idea.
On a lighter note, that reminds me, I have a friend who's a vet in the States, and she says she gets so many dogs that come in, and the owner's like, "What's wrong with this dog? And my dog is sick, blah blah blah." And she's like, "Did it eat your gummies?" "Yes, it got into my edibles. I'm not gonna bust you. I'm not gonna call the police, but I need to know if your dog is stoned or not."
I've had that as well. They've come in like, oh, my dog's having a seizure. My dog's having a seizure. I'm just like, okay, calm down, because they're panicking. And I'm just like, okay. By the time the dog gets to the clinic, my vet looks at it and she's like, this dog looks like it's high. Are you sure it didn't eat anything? No, 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 no. Okay, it's all right. So we're going to treat and try and do some flushing. And then she's like, I'm not passing any judgment, but this dog looks like it's stoned. Well, now that you think about it, there was this on the side of the bedside table. And it's not there anymore. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, just let
No
us
problem.
know.
Now we know.
Yeah.
And now we know what we're dealing with,
Yeah.
and we can go from there. And it seems quite funny because when the dog's in the cage, you see the feet up like this. I can see.
Oh, that's so funny. That's funny. That's it's funny. I have my golden Nevea, who's a rescue, came from Yankee Golden. She's very timid and she gets a little frightened all the time. And so, the doctors in the U.S. and my vet here said, give her a little bit of CBD oil. And now she's so chill.
Yeah, but CBD is not THC.
See? Yeah. And that's not too bad because the CBD will actually help with her joints. And
Yeah.
as you said, it just calms her anxiety right out.
Yeah.
You know.
A few drops under the tongue every morning, and she's a happy camper.
Did you get the bacon flavor?
I just got the bacon one.
Okay.
She's gonna like the bacon one.
Yeah.
That's the new bottle is bacon.
Okay.
They were out of it the first time. Bacon.
Yeah.
They're like, what flavors do you want? I'm like, what flavors do you have? And they went. There was fish, and there was this, and there was that, and they're like,
I always go for the
bacon. Like bacon. What bacon makes everything better.
It definitely does.
Oh.
Gosh, y'all.
Yeah.
Sorry, Heather, I'm so
Let me
sorry.
pour some more champagne.
Yes, please do.
She's gonna
I
slap
can't
us.
even tease you and say like shrimp bacon, maybe then shrimp bacon.
No,
Shrimp-
I like turkey bacon.
Okay, we can do turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon is better than no bacon. But bacon is better than turkey bacon.
Definitely.
I'm sorry, Heather.
Definitely.
Oh boy.
What
So
kind of
listen,
Jew are you?
what is the? She's not speaking to us anymore. What is the? Where's the prosecco, by the way?
It's
It's
right
right there
here.
waiting for you. It's gonna like hot.
You're gonna pour it on your coffee dregs? Your coffee dregs?
What do you
Have to
call,
get
what
in
do
the
you call coffee and prosecco together?
What? I
A
don't know.
crime.
Oh,
We do
boy.
that one.
She's a piece of work.
Yeah.
Just a little, just a drop. That's good. That's good. That's
Okay.
good.
all right.
I want to touch a little bit on animal defenders because they're not here today. Mercedes wasn't actually feeling very well.
I'm sorry, Mercedes. Feel better.
Yeah. But they do, just to bring awareness to what they actually do, they have a group of volunteers and they have different feeding stations. The look on your face when you
That's
said
good.
that.
This is good. Good, nice prosecco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. You think I'm gonna bring crap?
That is a good point. You can high five on that one.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, they have a group of feeding stations on different parts of the island, and So obviously, as you know, we can't always find homes for all the animals that we have. And they go around, the volunteers will feed night and day and provide food and water for them. So that's something that animal welfare, not animal welfare, animal defenders really pushes on, because they understand that there are not enough homes, there are not enough fosters to be able to look after the animals, and they do what they can. As long as the animal's not being a nuisance, they do try and help. So, I mean, again, they're doing their part in that aspect,
Yeah.
and they're the ones, as well as other rescue people on the island, that are seeing the brunt of what we're dealing with right now, because they see new dogs at their different feeding stations. They'll see the new dogs down at the dump, um, and people are dumping everywhere they'll sock, from Oyster Pond to the boardwalk to the dump. And my fear about the boardwalk is that's where our tourists are, you know, and our tourists are gonna either one see the condition of certain dogs and be like, oh, call animal welfare. What's going on with this dog? Can you not help it? And it puts a bad image on St. Martin in that particular aspect. Or the dogs on the boardwalk are aggressive and they will attack people,
This is not
and then this is where the police are going to step in. And then animal lovers such as us may not like the solution that the police come up with. But at the end of the day, they're there to protect the public, not the stray animals. Unfortunately, because we have no legislations, they have no rights. Okay,
Right.
there's no prosecution in the community, but they can do something about the stray animals by removing them. So
And Americans, in America, there are leash laws and there are, collar laws and registration laws. So the tourists don't quite understand when they see dogs running around. They're like, all these stray dogs. And it's like, no, most of
some
them
are owned.
are owned and taken care of. And they just know if they come with sad eyes at you, you're going to feed them ribs.
right.
So, I mean, we get so.
That's all it takes.
No rib
is-
bones, no rib bones, no rib
That's-
bones. Okay,
that-
guys, no rib bones.
That's all it takes is sad eyes, and you'll
Yes.
feed me ribs.
Yes. Or
Yeah.
a jolly jaunt. I know a pit bull that would come from a home on the pond, from the dump area, and she will come down to the boardwalk every day at 5 o'clock. She was there. I finally picked her up to spare, so I knew what time she was coming. She'll come jolly jaunt coming down the road, and she'll wait right there by certain bars where she knew she was gonna get fed.
Yeah.
Not like she wasn't being fed at home, to be fair, but it's just like the owners were not paying attention to the fact that she would leave every day at 5, come down to the boardwalk, get fed, and go back up and eat again, little piggy.
Was she chubby?
She was chubby, a beautiful pit though, a beautiful
Yeah.
pit. But I was able to find out who she belonged to. Again, asking questions around your community is always important. Spoke to the owners, got her permission to spay and neuter her, and I also microchipped her. So should she do the jaunt again and she is brought into our clinic, I can scan her, take a look at the number. I'm like, oh, this is so and so. This is your owner. I know exactly where you need to go. You know, I think microchipping is also something that we can also touch on.
Microchipping a great thing.
Yeah, because it helps us find lost dogs, their homes again very quickly. So microchipping is not expensive. Every vet has their own microchip that they use, and I know that they all try to be cost effective as well. Especially when we have the fireworks and dogs get scared and they run away, someone will pick up. If you find a dog that you know that is lost, bring it to your local vet. Let's scan and see if it's chipped. If it's chipped, we can find the home with less than a day.
Yeah. And those 2,000 that we did in a year and a half all got
My
microchips.
chips, yeah.
Brilliant.
So they
Brilliant stuff.
all, yeah, they're all, we
What-
all know who they are.
What is the best way for folks to help? How can they make a donation?
As I don't know the bank account numbers for everyone, I'll send you to the Facebook page of SM Paws, St. Martin Animal Welfare, and Animal Defenders. They all have information on there as to how to donate. I know Animal Defenders has a local bank account. I know we have different little boxes that are at different hotels and at all the vets. We also have our bank account that you can make the donations directly to. SM Paws has the same thing where, do they have boxes? Yeah, they have boxes
Yeah.
at every vet.
Yeah.
They have boxes at every vet, as well as their bank account information that's on the website, on the
And,
Facebooks.
And
Yeah,
for those of you that would like to donate online, we do have online donation
Yes.
capabilities of
Yeah.
the incorporated
Animal
authorities.
Welfare Foundation, we partnered with Team Golden Dog in
Yeah.
the States. So we actually have
PayPal.
yeah, we have a PayPal account, and it's also that, what's that called? Where you're a
QR.
tax
We're a
tax
501c
There you
tax
go.
deductible donation, tax deductible,
tax
tax exempt,
deductible in the U.S.
tax
The
exempt
Prosecco's
organization.
kicking in for all of us. Also, people can go to any of the vets on the Dutch side that we work with, and they can say, "Look, here's $100 or
And
whatever."
you tell us where to put it, and they'll put it on their account for them.
Yeah, you can say this is for SXM Paws, or this is for animal welfare, or this is for to spay and neuter,
All,
and
all
the
the
vets will help.
all
do
of the
that.
foundations have accounts at all of the vets, and they always have a bill. So if you want to come, put a 20. If you want to come, put a 10. It does not matter. Any little bit helps. You want to put $1, you put $1. It goes towards the animals. That's all that counts.
Thank you, guys. Always nice to see you both.
Well, thanks for
Same
having
to you
us,
as well.
and yeah,
Thank you for coming
is
in.
fun.
Oh, it's always fun. You can come any Friday with a bottle of prosecco.
Hey,
Hey, Prosecco Fridays.
Prosecco Fridays.
Prosecco Fridays
My
at
friends were here
on
now,
fresh
they're like, what happened to teapot Fridays?
on
That's later. That's after 5.
Never
I'm way
after
late.
5.
9:59. Stay with us. Let me see if I can fix all of this and get ourselves back on time.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Listen. This was good stuff for us to talk about.
Yeah.
No
And
matter
if
how
you have any questions, they can always let us know, and we can reach back out and we can answer
Yeah,
as well.
we get a lot of questions on Facebook Messenger, which is really, really great. But again, I'm fielding so many questions from tourists who say, I saw this dog. Could you check on it? And
The horse.
yeah, I saw. Oh, the horse. The
What's
horse.
the horse? I don't know.
There
this
was
one.
a horse
That was sleeping.
It was
A
lying down.
baby
It
horse
was
that
a
was
baby.
sleeping.
Yeah, and of course,
Where was it lying down?
Up by the trails there in Colby.
Oh, right.
You know,
Yeah,
and he
across
was
from
sleeping.
PDP.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, we have a group that now has all like the animal rescue people in it. And so we put out a plea like, whose horses this belong to? And I normally know that there are a few people who own horses around the area. So I reached out to one or two of them, found who the owner was, and they're like, she likes to sleep. Let her sleep.
yeah,
You know?
he went over and posted a picture of the horse up and awake, and
Yeah.
the horse is fine. It's
The
like,
horse was laying down on the side of the road.
gracious,
No,
yeah.
no, it was in the bushes, but
Like-
it was near the trail, so people saw it. You know,
And so it was just laying down. I've
Just
never seen a
laying
horse.
down.
I've never seen a horse
I
lay down.
never knew that as well.
I
never
would have
knew
want
that.
to lay down next to the horse and given the horse a hug.
But it's a baby horse, so baby horse is fine.
Yeah.
A big horse, then we think we have to worry about that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of rescues, there's that new rescue, Island Cat Rescue. Have you
Yeah.
been over there?
I have not. I have.
You should.
I've had-
Oh
I've
my
had the-
gosh, it's nice. It's in
I've heard-
Maho,
yeah.
above Three Amigos, and those cat people are a league of their own.
Yes, they are definitely. It's so
And
nice
I'm a
and
cat
quiet.
person. I mean, I have 6,
Yeah.
but
I have
that cat place is so cute, and you can go there and just play with kittens. And we went after dinner one night, and my son was with us. He's 20, and he was like, well, this is a good idea. People get all liquored up at dinner and come and get a kitten. I was like, yeah, that's a great idea.
I love it.
Yeah,
Uh,
Diana needs to open her SXM Paws shelter at night and say, oh, a nighttime
c-
puppy play, you know.
Come for a drink.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Diana
Let-
was supposed to be here today.
Hi,
but
oh, good
she's-
morning, Diana.
Yeah, she's thrown out her back,
Oh,
lifting kennels and dog food like
Oh.
we all do. So.
That is some heavy lifting, guys. You know, really. So if you want to volunteer at St. Paul's, please reach out to Diana. Yes, I'm putting you on blast. By all means, everyone needs volunteers, even animal welfare, even animal defenders.
We all
If you can't donate, volunteer. If you can't volunteer, foster. You know, there is always something that you can do to help the animals.
and if you want to do all of the above, we'll take it too.
yeah,
Oh
definitely.
my gosh.
Ladies, thank you for
Because we're
coming.
doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
Not a
Thank you
problem.
for having us.
Thank
Always, you always support all of our causes. So thank you so much.
You know me and the four-legged ones. I love them all.
Can we talk about wine and cheese night?
What do you want to?
Oh.
What do you want to talk about?
We have a wine and cheese night
Quick.
coming
When
up.
is wine and cheese?
It is March 22nd. We'll come in before
Okay.
and talk to you some more about it. With
Everyone likes liquor
Etienne
and
from
cheese
the
and
cheese
food.
shop. Yeah. We'll come with more wine. And
Deal.
we'll talk about wine and cheese.
Deal. Ladies, take care of yourself. It is 10:03 right here in the Northeast Caribbean.
High five.